Okay, when we're adding mixed numbers, we want to first look at the addition problem as two different place values. So we have our whole numbers on one side and we have our fractions on the other side, so we're going to treat them separately. So looking at our problem, we know we have 7/12 and we have 1/3. So over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/12 and 1/3. Well, we know we cannot add these together the way they are, so we need to make them look the same. I know that we can just take and draw these lines kind of right below the ones right above them in order to make both of these pictures look the same. So now, I still have 7/12 on the top, but now instead of having 1/3, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now I know that 1/3 equals 4/12. Or I know if I want the same denominator, that I can do 3 times 4 will give me 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. 1 times 4 is 4. And then up at the top, I'm going to keep the same denominator, so I'm multiplying across by 1. So I have 7/12 and 4/12. Now, I'm going to be adding these together. So what I can do is I can take this away and put it right up top. Again, take this one away, put it right up top. Take this one away, put it right up top. And then take the last one away and put it right up top. It's a lot easier to visualize. Now I know that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 12 that are shaded. So, of course, 7 plus 4 is 11, and my denominator stays the same because over here I still have 12 as my total. Now, you cannot forget to go and add your next place value, 4 plus 3, which gives you 7. So now your answer, putting these together, is 7 and 11/12. All right, now, when it comes to subtracting fractions without borrowing, it's the same as it was whenever we were doing it without a whole number. You're going to treat the place values just like an addition, two separate place values, like we have the fractions and we have the whole numbers. So looking at 6/12 and 1/4, if we come over and we shade them in, we know this one's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/12, and then this one is going to be 1/4. Now, looking at these, we know that we cannot add these together. We need a common denominator. So once again, just like on the previous one, we can make the models look the same. Just lining up the bar or the line right above with the bar right above, just like I am doing. And last one. Now, I no longer have 1/4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 12. So 1/4 equals 3/12. Mathematically, I did 4 times 3 to get 12 and 1 times 3 to get 3. Looking at the top one, the denominator is going to stay the same. We didn't do anything to that picture. We're not going to do anything to that fraction. 12 times 1 is 12. 6 times 1 is 6. So we have 6/12 minus 3/12. Now, because the numerator is the same, I can take 6 minus 3, and I know that is going to give me 3/12. Now, don't forget, you can simplify. I know that 3/12, both of these numbers are easily divisible by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. That's as simplified as it's going to get. Then I have to remember to go over to my whole number. 7 minus 4 is 3. And if I put these together, my answer is 3 1/4. And last but not least, when I'm subtracting and I'm regrouping, looking at these two fractions, backing up, we're going to treat them like two separate place values. We have our whole number and we have our fraction. So looking at our fraction first, when I am looking at the picture, I'm going to go ahead and shade in 2/3. And then we have 5/6. So clearly from the model, we know we have more on the bottom than we do on the top. So we know that we're going to have to regroup. But first we need to make sure we have a common denominator. Same thing we've done in the last two examples. Go ahead and make that picture on the top look just like the one on the bottom by drawing the lines in the top model right above where they are in the bottom model. So now we no longer have 2/3. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5/6. So 2/3 is also equal to 4/6. I know this because I know that 3 times 2 is 6. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do the top. 2 times 2 is 4. So now I have 4/6, and I'm subtracting 5/6 from that. This is going to be the same. It's going to be 6 times 1 and 5 times 1 because I did not change that fraction. Now, I cannot subtract 5 from 4, so I have to borrow from my whole number, which means from this 3, the 3 now becomes a 2. So I have one of those wholes I'm now going to make into a fraction. And we'll just get rid of some of this up here so I can easily put it right above that. All right, fill that back in. Here's your new one. So here's my whole number that I'm bringing over. And I've got to make it a fraction. I could make it whatever I wanted to make it, but I'm going to make it out of 6 pieces because that's going to be easiest when I go to add it to the pieces that are already there. So I'm just going to draw, I'm just going to draw the lines the same as they are in the model right below it because I'm working with 6s. I know that if I brought it over from the whole, I have all 6 pieces, so I'm going to shade it in. Every single one of them. Now, I no longer have 4/6 anymore. I have 4/6, and I now have the one above it that I brought over from the whole number. So I have 6 and 4. Because up top I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is now 7, 8, 9, 10 that are shaded. So adding to that my 6/6 that I have, I now have 10/6. So now I can take my 10/6 and I can subtract it. Let's see, let's get a new color. my 10/6, and I can subtract 5/6 from it. 10 minus 5 is 5, and my denominator is still a 6. Now, you cannot forget to go and subtract your whole number. 2 minus 1 is 1. Putting these together, I now have 1 and 5/6 remaining. So that is my final answer. The most important thing here to do that you need to remember to do is when you borrow from the whole number, you have to bring over a whole fraction. The whole thing is going to be shaded in. Bring over the same fraction that you're working with. Don't bring over halves if you're working with 6. Don't bring over fourths if you're working with 6. Just bring over 6 pieces out of 6. It's going to make it easier for you when you go to add it to what you already have, like we did here.